back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing really well. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome to the crazy family. Welcome to my little tribe. Basically my channel is basically all about lifestyles. I do a lot about makeup, fashion, tips, do-it-yourself projects, anything that encompass lifestyle. That's what my channel is all about. I try to also add a lot of positive kind of reflections and body positive too, because at the end of the day we live in a world that is full of a lot of negative things, so add a little positive to it that won't hurt anyone or won't even hurt your world. So I'm glad you found this channel. If you just found it by accident, I'm glad you did that too. Welcome. If you guys are new, like I said, definitely hit the subscribe button if you like to see craziness on a channel. That's gonna be me. If you guys are returning, definitely hit the bell. It notifies you exactly when I post a new video. Right, so this video is basically a get ready with me, but I'm adding a little twist to it. I'm gonna do some Q&A, so it's a get ready with me Q&A. All right, so the first thing is I'm gonna part my hair just so my hair is not gonna be in the way and all that. I pretty much already took care of my face, like in the sense of like I cleaned it, moisturized and all that, so it should be pretty set to just put on the pretty makeup on. So first question is basically, what's my name? My name's Angel, as you all guys know. It's in my title of my channel as well, Unapologetically Angel, but it's Angel. I am 24. I mean, not 24. I wish I was 24. I'm actually 29. I am in my last year of my 20s, so that's scary. My birthday is October 10th, so you guys, it's coming up. My 30th birthday is coming up, and that is crazy. And by my birthday, since it's October, you will know the second question, the third question, I mean, what zodiac sign am I? I'm a Libra. I'm 100% Libra. Like, you guys look at the descriptions of what a Libra characteristic is, that's me. That's like 100% me. And a lot of people that know me, when I tell them what I am, like I was like, oh, I'm a Libra, they're like, yeah, you're a complete 100% Libra. I don't even see myself, to be honest, another sign but a Libra. I just don't see myself. So that is that. So that's kind of like the generics. A little bit about my family. They also asked like about my family. I'm the oldest. Then I have a brother that is 25, and then I have a sister that she is almost in her teens, about to hit her teens, and it's scary, and it's a scary world out there for teens, and I'm just like, my sister's gonna be in that age group pretty soon. So yeah, that's a little bit of my family. Mom and dad are still together, yay. So yeah, we've been, a little background of my family. We are from El Salvador, so I was born and raised in El Salvador. I came here when I was 6 years old. So basically all my foundation, everything I learned here. I went to, all my prime school. I went to elementary, middle school, and high school in here. When I went to college, I went for a fashion degree. I did it in the Art Institute of Atlanta, but before that, before I moved and lived here in Atlanta, I was going to an art school up in Chicago, which I fell in love with the city. Like, that's one of my cities. If that's not a question, but if someone would ask me, what is your favorite city that you lived in and would you go back, Chicago would be the best. I didn't live in the actual downtown of Chicago. I lived in suburbs of it, but just the city itself, it's like a mixture of like New York. It's like New York, like crazy, but less crazy in the sense. And then you know how New York is the capital of the fashion, well, Chicago is more the capital of the arts, and there's a lot of museums, anything revolving around arts is basically you can find in Chicago. And then fashion, it was added to it, so it was just the best time of my life. I will go back eventually, sooner or later. I want to move back to Chicago, but in the meantime, I'm here in Atlanta, and I'm loving it here. I've met so many people that became really close friends of mine. So, I can say that I love Chicago and I also love Atlanta. So it's that. All right, so the next few questions are pretty much what are my like favorite things. So let's start with favorite food. I love Italian food. You don't understand. I just love a good chicken Alfredo or even a pasta carbonara. Like, oh my God, just thinking about that, and pizza. Oh, it just makes me hungry. But yeah, anything that's Italian, like I am in love with the Italian culture. When I was in high school, so my parents didn't let me take Spanish just because, you know, that was something I could learn at home. So I just went on and decided to take Italian because in my high school they were only offering Italian or French or Spanish, and I was not going to take French because this girl is not about to do no. My brother did take French during high school and he struggled, so I was glad that, you know, at the time I went to high school, I was just like, I was not about to struggle with the language that I had no clue. So I took Italian and it was the best 3 years of my high school life because I learned so much, and that helped me a little with the Spanish. I will say though, I'm fluent in Spanish, like speaking. I can read it a little bit, but I can't write it at all. So like, that's really bad, you guys. But when I was taking Italian, I literally learned so much about the culture, the food, and everything. And one thing about my Italian teacher in high school, she just shared so many like stories, so personal, like so many personal stories that it just made me want to like move to Italy and just like live there and just like enjoy life. So favorite food has to be Italian food. When it comes to like my favorite color, I really don't have a favorite color. I mean, I love a range of colors, if that makes sense. I love pastel colors, like your pastel colors, your palette, if it's like pastel, that's my thing. I like a lot of like burgundy and like olive green. I think I have way too much of that color in my closet. So I pretty much gravitate towards a lot of like warm tone colors. So your yellows, your mustards, your like browns, that's like are my to-go to. I'm not a big like light color, like your light blues, your blues, like there's certain shades of blue that I like, but I really don't have like a specific like favorite color. I like more like a range of like colors or a palette of colors, if that makes more sense. When it comes to like my favorite hobbies, a lot of people might say she's gonna say shopping. I mean, I really do like shopping, but I don't think shopping is a hobby, because hobby is something that I mean, I enjoy it, but hobby tends to be sometimes for free because you enjoy it. You know, like reading a book can be a hobby and it's for free sometimes. I mean, always, because you buy a book and or you go to the public library and you know check out a book. So for me, reading is a big hobby of mine. Netflix can be a hobby. I mean, I love like binge watching. During quarantine, I will say though that I took fully advantage of binge watching because I saw so many TV shows. But now that I like had to go back to work, it kind of makes it hard. But I'm doing the best I can, as much as I can watch. But I do like to watch Netflix. I lately got into hiking, so I think that's gonna be like a new hobby for me. Obviously here in Georgia, there's a lot of like state parks or like good areas like with mountains to hike. So I've definitely taken advantage of that. I've gone to 2 so far, and I'm planning to add more. But obviously, with COVID, everything was kind of like closed up and everything is slowly opening. So, it's taking time. But yeah, I would say reading, Netflix, and hiking is kind of my new like hobbies. I might have more, but it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. All right, so continuing with my favorite stuff. I already said favorite color, favorite food. favorite book, since I did say that my favorite one of my favorite hobbies, with no exception, it's gonna be Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I literally, when they came out as movies, like, this girl was there on premiere night. Like, I was there, like, on the clock watching all these movies. I was super excited about, the fact that I read them before they even came out as movies, and then when they were movies. And I will say, I'm 100% believer, and if you guys don't agree with me, that's okay. I will say that the books and the movies are pretty much synced to the dot. I mean, I think for me, the last Deathly Hallows, I think they kind of missed on certain things, but obviously also too, they made 2 movies, so like they had to cut a lot of, the book was already thick enough, and for them to make 2 movies, so I kind of forgave them. They missed certain parts, but it was okay. I mean, I can't complain at all. So I will say that for me, my favorite books will be and are always going to be Harry Potter, like every single one of them. Now when it comes to movies, I have a couple that I like. I will say, like, obviously all the Harry Potter ones, because I watch them all and I own them, every single one. So there's nights where I just do like a little Harry Potter theme. I was glad during quarantine that my sister actually started getting hooked to them, and so we've been binge watch all the movies. Like, we started with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and we ended to Deathly Hallows, and we did that in a 2-week span. Like, not even 2 weeks, like I think it was 1 week. We literally started like probably on a Sunday, and we finished that Saturday, and that's the best experience with my sister that I can think of, because I was like, we finally bonded over something. I mean, she's discovering a lot of things that I did when I was younger, like read the Harry Potter books. So I was like, it was a nice memory, and it's a memory that I'm gonna cherish, that we watched all the Harry Potter. So I will say that, and then I will have to say Endgame, Marvel Endgame. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd for Marvel anything, and Endgame it's in my heart, it's in my face. Like, I still can't get over the fact that there's not gonna be any more Iron Man, like Tony Stark. Like, oh, you guys, you don't understand. When I went to watch that movie, I actually went to watch it with my dad that time when it premiered. Well, no, I waited until a week after premiere because I was not getting any tickets because they were all sold out. And yeah, I was really destroyed, but I think it's one of the best movies of the Avengers, and I bought it and I rewatch it as many times as I want to now, but those 2 are in the top categories of my favorite movie. I love any Disney Channel movie, any Disney, not Disney, but any kids movie. I love that too. So like Frozen 1 and Frozen 2. Frozen 2 I do love more just because of the music, but I will say, like, I just love a lot of movies. When it comes to favorite Netflix series, I will have to say Money Heist. I cannot get over how crazy that whole series is, and I'm glad that I got hooked on it during quarantine, because they had like, I think two seasons, and then during quarantine I think season 3 released. So I got everyone hooked in my house. Like, my dad and my mom got hooked on it. So Money Heist for my favorite Netflix series for sure. What are your guys' favorite series? Like, I mean, share some comments too. Like, I need to know some of any recommendations of any Netflix series will also come in handy, because I try to add some Netflix time into my crazy life. So any series that you guys have, please let me know. All right, and almost ending my favorite sections of questions. Favorite season, I will have to say fall. I'm so glad fall is almost here and ready to mingle with all of us. I just hope Corona doesn't mess it up for anyone. everyone stay safe, please. But fall is my favorite season. I just love the fact that it's that transition to like that warm weather to that cool, nice. The trees are turning, the leaves are in the trees are turning, like, you know, it's a perfect like mellow season. Obviously I live in Georgia, and Georgia's weather is so bipolar. So the fall, our fall season starts whenever Georgia feels like it. It's never on time, or cold comes and goes. So but I am pretty excited because sometimes the temperatures do change a little. Like now lately in the mornings it's kind of a little chilly, and I'm like, oh, I can sense fall. And also all the fall decor that comes out, and then you just, you know, you get into that mood that it bumps you into Christmas, that cozy winter, super cold, super snuggle. So I'm super excited. I love fall. My least favorite season is gonna be summer. It's just too hot for this girl. It's too hot. But you know, I bear with it because, you know, I live in a state that is pretty hot, so it's not the end of the world. But if I could live in a cold weather state, I would move in a heartbeat. I actually, when I was younger, I did live in like Boston, the outskirts of Boston, but it was the best time ever. Like the fall there is the best season, hands down, because you literally see so many trees, like their leaves are turning. It's just like the perfect scenario for those Instagram pictures. Boston has them. Like it's like I want to live in Boston and just like go outside in my, you know, back porch and just sip some like coffee and just look at the landscape. That's what Boston's all about. So yeah, that's pretty much when it comes to drinks. I got this question, someone asked me, what is your favorite drink? Now if we're talking about alcohol, I will have to say tequila. I'm a tequila girl. Mojito is also on top of my favorite. Now if I would say like Starbucks drink, I love the vanilla chai latte, the dragon drink, and lately I've been in love and hooked with the matcha pineapple one. I think it's green. I think it's pineapple matcha drink. I'm obsessed with those. I just gravitate over that. With like a warm drink, I do like white chocolate. I haven't really tried too many of like the warm coffee drinks, just because I love like any of their refreshers. I love too, but my go-tos are definitely dragon drink, the pineapple matcha drink, and I would say the berry hibiscus refresher. It's always good too. So yeah, those are my favorite drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Shout out to Karen, you know, if she's watching this. You know, my friend Karen, she's obsessed with Hennessy, and I mean, I love to drink, but that's a lot. That's just a lot. But for me, I'm a tequila girl, so tequila all the way. All right, so the next question is, I wrote them down, guys, because, you know, I was like, and I also took some questions from Pinterest just to, you know, get to know me a little bit more. Biggest fear. I think my biggest fear is, let's see. I mean, I have a lot of fears in my life, but not being there for my sister and like my siblings. Like, I'm more particular my little sister. I mean, my sister, she is the last one of the family, and you know, as time goes by, my parents get older, you know, and we've all kind of figured that we know the, you know, the cycle of life. And so my biggest fear is not to be there for my sister. I'm always there 24/7, and I pretty much do a lot like for my friends and family. Like I put them before like even myself. But for me, it's like not being there or not supporting my sister 100%. That's my biggest fear. Just because, you know, she is just starting off, and like, you know, if anything were to happen that you know, I would, you know, my parents won't be there for her. You know, my biggest fear, like, I won't be enough. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, I just get overprotective with her, and I'm just like, will I be enough of a parent or a guardian in case, you know, whenever my, you know, if anything were to happen to my parent and I had to kind of take custody of her, would I be enough of a parent? And then another biggest fear is, would I even get married? That's a question. But with those fears, or with the fact of marriage and everything, goes to answer another question of, am I seeing anyone? From Karen. From Karen, by the way. No, I am not. I am 100% fully single, ready to mingle. No, I'm not seeing anyone. I think for me, I've been trying to kind of do me, like, self-love and like reflection, and see what I need to like figure out of myself first before, you know, bringing someone into like the picture. I mean, you know, dating is hard. Dating nowadays is hard. So it's all about being 100% comfortable with yourself, and I think that's where my journey is right now. I'm trying to be 100% comfortable with who I am, my insecurities and everything, and then once that, I think everything else will fall into its place and the right person will come in at the right time. I will say though that when I was younger, in early 20s, I said to myself that by 25 I would be, you know, finding that person, and then by age 27 I would be fully married, and then by now 29 that I am, and 30 I would be having my kids and all that. That didn't happen, and I learned that you can't plan your life. You gotta let life happen and move on, and just wait and see what life has for you. All right, and another one is, what are your insecurities? So for me, I will say, you guys, that one of my biggest insecurity was my body. I think we all, you know, I think we all go through that in our lives. But when I was growing up, obviously, you know, I loved fashion. So I saw everything like from the fashion magazines and everything. And, you know, I got into this thing where, you know, I was like, okay, so the perfect size is a 5 or a 0. And, you know, that mentality was kind of with me through middle school, through high school. Obviously, you know, you get pressure to do a lot of things, or, you know, look a certain way to fit a certain group of people in high school. But I was pretty blessed with finding friends that were pretty like well-rounded, any shape, and they came in different shapes and sizes, and, you know, that kind of anchored me. And then also, like, my mom was a big supporter. Like, my mom and I, our relationship is like a daughter-mother, but it's also like a best friend. And, you know, and she would always tell me, she's like, you are dumb if you're starving yourself to look a certain way. So that's something that was always in the back of my brain, and I never went to the extremes. Like, you know, I know people during high school suffer eating disorders and everything. I saw some people like around me that, you know, potentially might have suffered that, but never really said it. But my mom was always there to ground me, and, you know, and she was like, don't do it to please others. Like, you know, you are fine how you are. You're gonna have curves because we have curves, you know, your grandma or your aunt. You're gonna have boobs because, you know, it runs in the family. So just, it's all about embracing it. And obviously when you're like 15, 16 or 18, you know, you're like, whatever, mom, you know, it's whatever. But I think that helped me to not fall into any of those like depressions or anything. And also, like, my friends, you know, they were just normal high schoolers having the time of their life. I think for me, I got a little bit over and started, you know, changing my mentality when I started working for Aerie. I worked there for like 2 years, and they're all big about body positivity. Body positive. So it just gave me a whole new window, a whole new like vision of how I like looked at myself and how I looked at the body that, you know, that I would see in the mirror. So it did help me a lot when I worked there. All right, another question, it said, would I ever get married? The question is yes. When am I gonna have a baby? That's another question. Whenever God lets me have a baby, whenever God thinks I'm ready to have a baby, I'll have a baby. Question I got off of my Instagram was, if you were to babysit one of your friends' kids, would I do it to babysit, and who would that friend be? And yes, I would babysit any of my friends' kids in a heartbeat, and I would not particularly babysit one or the other. I would babysit all of them. If I can babysit them all at the same time. And another question now is, if I could travel anywhere without not worrying about money or anything, where would it be? I would definitely say Italy. I really want to go to Italy so bad. I had a plan this year, and I was gonna actually like finally commit to it and do it, to travel to Europe this year and, you know, go out there and explore, because I've never been to Europe, but that didn't happen because of COVID. Again, COVID messed up a lot of people's plans, by the way. So all right guys, for my last question, this one I saw it off of Pinterest, and basically what it is, it's like those, you know, future questions, or, you know, your work question. It's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or so? But my question is, do you see yourself successful in 3 years from now? And the answer to that is yes, I do. But I think my success, I want it to be, you know, a positive impact in the community, in this platform. You know, I'm all about being, you know, I see myself 3 years from now, I see myself, you know, having a large community of like positive like warriors, like I want to call them, you know, like motivate each other, empower each other. And it can be both men and women. It doesn't have to be just women. I mean, I support women empowerment 100%, but, you know, men sometimes need some support too. And, you know, it's all about sharing love and everything. So I do see myself in 3 years from now being a successful YouTuber, you know, being like having a strong impact in this community and having my own community. Alright guys, I hope you really liked this video. I hope some of my questions that I answered on today's video were really insightful and you got to know me a little bit more, which I